Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Al Ewing's USA Avengers, and we're going to cover issues 7 to 10. And these issues are a tie-in into the Secret Empire crossover, but they do sort of stand on their own. Like, you don't have to read the whole other crossover to understand what's happening here. And we also get the setup to the ending of this run, where basically this whole team is just going to dissolve. All the members are going to go in separate directions. Actually, this really finishes off in the No Surrender crossover, but it started here. So the story actually starts off with Captain America, who during this time was Hydra Cap, takes over the United States. So basically what happened during this crossover is that Captain America was like the sleeper Hydra agent, and Hydra takes over the United States. And when they make this move, what happens is Cap knows how to take down every single superhero within the US. In the case of the U.S.Avengers, what happens is that Hydra was able to infect the Red Hulk, the second Red Hulk, Maverick Hulk. Like, I don't know too much about this character, but the thing is, so what happens is Hydra is able to control this Red Hulk through the nanites. So when Cap decides to take over the U.S., they activate the Red Hulk's nanites. He wrecks his team. Also, at the same time, they have captured Sunspot, who would be the leader of the team. They have shot him with this neural disruptor, and he's lost most of his cognitive functions. And it seems that also during this time, Sunspot was dealing with the whole thing of the Mpox. That was this infection that humans got thanks to the humans and the Tears of Mist. The less said about that, the better. So what happens is Mav Hulk is able to defeat his teammates, while Squirrel Girl and Enigma are teleported to Europe. Hack our way into Enigma's armor, and that's how they were able to teleport away. So Tony gets captured and she's thrown into a cell with Sunspot. Obviously they're under Hydra custody, while Enigma and Squirrel Girl are in France, and they discover that Hydra is trying to take over France too. There they end up joining forces with the Champions of Europe, which has an awesome lineup. You have Captain Britain, Guillotine, Excalibur, Ares, Le Peregrine, Outlaw. So it's pretty fun to see our heroes join forces, battle it out against Hydra. Now, going back to Tony Ho, I had no idea she's actually the daughter of Jensen Ho, the guy that helped Tony Stark get out of that cave when he was captured and developed the first Iron Man armor with Tony. So I'm pretty interested in trying to find out more about this character, because it's super cool to see her rocking a Iron Man armor. She's tied to Iron Man's legacy, and she feels much more legit compared to Riri Williams. And very much like her father when she helped Tony Stark get out of that cave. She's trying to help Sunfire regain his cognitive faculties, and what she does, she makes like this headband that helps get his mind straight, with spare parts of things that she's been able to steal from around the jail. And the way it's done and it's written, it's pretty cool because she comes off as this really kick-ass character. And obviously she's able to get Sunspot back on his feet. They're able to break out of jail. And what happens is we have the end of the Secret Empire crossover, and we're dealing with the aftermath. The Hydra forces have been defeated. And what happens is we have Sunspot talking to the government liaison that the team has. And it's super interesting to see that they actually offer Sunspot to be the head of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. And they tell him, look, you have to make this A-list team, a first response team to deal with major threats, to stop working with these D-listers, be it Squirrel Girl, Enigma, or Tony Ho. And what happens is not only does Sunspot decline this offer, he also decides not to be the head of AIM anymore. He leaves AIM to Tony Ho. Now, I thought it was super cool that Al Ewing picked up on a lot of plot threads that Hickman had left us prior to Secret Wars and during Secret Wars. And the whole thing with Sunspot being the leader of AIM, he basically just bought them out, was super interesting. But now he has decided to move on and search for Cannonball, who has gone missing in action. Something has gone down with the Chitauri, and Cannonball is lost in space. And we get the setup for the last story arc for this run. So formally, the U.S.Avengers disband in issue 10, even though we have one more story arc. And the team will actually be finished off during the No Surrender crossover, as I mentioned earlier. And it's a real shame because I felt like all the members of this team had a lot of potential for cool stories. It would have been great to have U.S. Agent pop up within the lineup sooner or later, but obviously this never happened. Also, there was a lot of overlap between Al Ewing projects. Like you see stuff from his Contest of Champions, from his Ultimates run too. They're all integrated and mentioned within these issues. So we're going to leave things here. I hope you guys liked it. See you guys next time. Bye.